So today, I want to sit down and talk with you guys about where Genshin Impact seems to be heading from version 6.2 all the way to 6.8, because the new info, beta clues, and community chatter have been building into what looks like one of the biggest update cycles we've had in years. None of this is official yet, but when you start connecting the dots between data mined IDs, beta confirmations, and the way Hoyoverse structures their story arcs, the picture becomes surprisingly clear and, honestly, pretty exciting. This video is brought to you by A Figure a Day, your home for premium anime figures and collectibles. Right now, the store is offering up to 40% off on all figures. Discover fan-favorite characters, beautiful sculpts, and new drops every day. Shop now at afigureaday.com and level up your collection. Now, just a quick heads up. Everything in this video is speculation and prediction based on public discussions from places like Reddit, Telegram, and community theory channels. None of this is confirmed. I'm just summarizing what people are talking about, connecting the dots, and sharing my analysis. So, let's start with version 6.2, because that patch seems to be the centerpiece of the entire Luna era. Beta testing already shows Duran and Jihad in the files, which basically confirms their arrival. Duran has been hyped since the early Dragon's Pine lore days, and now he finally steps onto the stage as a Pyro Sword 5-star built around off-field pyro damage and multi-element resistance reduction. Think Xiangling's burst, but permanent, constantly applying pyro while shredding hydro, pyro, and anemo resistance at the same time. That's something Genshin has never done before outside of Viridescent Veneer. If it survives beta, it could redefine team building. The twist is that some of his power appears to scale with Hexen's synergy. Basically, he grows stronger when paired with characters like Mona, Klee, Albedo, or Vendi. Lore-wise, that fits perfectly with the Witch Circle. Gameplay-wise, it's controversial. Some players love faction bonuses. Others hate being character-locked. If true, it would be a major shift toward the organization-based buffs we see in Zenless Zone Zero, rather than the mix-and-match freedom Genshin has used for 4 years. Alongside Duran, 6.2 is expected to rerun Veresa first, and then bring Xilanen plus Veni in the second half. And even though no source has outright confirmed it, there's a strong case for an MDOC Chronicled Wish banner in this patch.
Why?
Because several Mondstadt characters, Mona, Klee, and Albedo, are rumored to receive small in-kit tweaks similar to Zhongli's buff back in 1.3. Every region that got a balance pass later received a Chronicled Wish banner. So, it's a pretty reasonable prediction. If it happens, 6.2 becomes a love letter to old-school Mondstadt. During debut, Veni rerun, Chronicled Wish for veterans. It all lines up. Moving into 6.3, things pivot hard toward Liyue and the Lantern Rite Festival, which usually comes with stacked reruns. The headline character here should be Columbina, the Damn Slut. She's a Hydro support whose early info describes a universal 15% all-element resistance reduction. If true, that's huge because it boosts every team, not just reaction teams. She's a Fatui harbinger, so expect story fireworks. She may also share the spotlight with the long-teased White Horse Adeptus, a mythic Liyue figure that's been hinted at for years. The Adeptus is believed to be a Liyue unit, possibly a Nemo or Geo, and could mark a bridge between old legends and the Luna era. Lantern Rite usually brings characters like Xiao, Hu Tao, or Zhongli back, so expect at least one major rerun. For Liyue mains, 6.3 looks like a mix of nostalgia and major power creep. Then we move into 6.4, where the spotlight gets very loud because Varka finally steps out of myth. For years he's been the absent Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, always away on expedition. And now he's finally returning as a 5-star Anemo Claymore. He's rumored to focus on pure Anemo damage instead of reaction setups. Basically a frontline bruiser, the Claymore equivalent of Xiao or Wanderer. Fans went crazy after his appearance in the Luna 2 special program. Broad shoulders, heavy armor, the classic mentor archetype. Lore-wise, he's Razor's mentor, so his release might close the loop on the Mondstadt Next Generation arc. Most ID orders place him in 6.4, though some say 6.5, so keep expectations flexible. After that comes 6.5, which looks like a quieter transition patch. Early chatter mentions new 4 stars like Aluga, supposedly non-hydro and non-cryo, to balance element distribution. Probably minor events expanding the Luna narrative. Nothing huge, but likely the calm before the next storm. Because 6.6 is where the Hexenzer storyline kicks back up with Nicole, another key member of the Hexen Circle. Her arrival might cement the shift toward faction-based bonus systems, something we've already seen hinted at with Durant's kit. Imagine a full Witch Circle team gaining shared buffs. It's speculation, but Hoyoverse loves long-form synergy arcs, and Nicole's debut could lock that in both mechanically and narratively. And finally, we reach 6.7 to 6.8, where things get really intriguing. According to HXG's leak channel referencing Full Stop John, Sandrone, the marionette, is expected to become playable late in the 6X cycle and be classified as a main focus character. That title means big marketing, cinematic trailers, and signature mechanics. Think Raiden Shogun or Neuvillette. That alone would make her one of the defining characters of Natlan's successor era. But the real headline is her rumored reaction, Lunar Crystallize. If that name sticks, it almost guarantees she's Geo, because Crystallize is a Geo-exclusive reaction. And that's massive for Geo mains who've been starving since Navia. Standard Crystallize only creates shields. Useful, but weak compared to transformative reactions. The idea that Lunar Crystallize could evolve or upgrade that system has the community split. Optimists think it could turn shield shards into damage or buffs for her automaton companion, Polonia. That would fit her marionette theme perfectly. Pessimists worry it'll be another Neuvillette-style Lunar Bloom situation, powerful but self-contained, only benefiting her. Either way, it proves Hoyoverse is experimenting with Geo again, which is huge by itself. Now, there's still debate about her main focus classification, since Columbina, Varka, Nicole, and possibly Alice are all heavyweights. But people said the same thing about Fontaine. Everyone assumed Farina would dominate the marketing, but Neuvillette shared equal spotlight. So multiple main focus units in one arc isn't impossible. Looking beyond that, 6.8 will likely be a bridge patch to whatever region or system comes after Natlan's arc, possibly a limited rerun festival or an epilogue patch like Prefontaine. Either way, the 6.2 to 6.8 roadmap points in one direction. Hoyoverse is modernizing Genshin's combat with deeper faction synergies, multi-element resistance reduction, and new experimental reactions that blur the line between support and DPS. And what's exciting is how consistent the internal ID order and beta tests have been. Nefer in 6.1, Duran and Jahat in 6.2, Columbina in 6.3, Varka in 6.4, Nicole in 6.6, Sandrone in 6.7. It's one of the most coherent pipelines since Inazuma. So, to wrap up, over the next 6 versions we're likely looking at Duran redefining Pyro support, Columbina rewriting team-wide debuffs, Varka finally bringing a real Anemo Claymore DPS, Nicole expanding Hexenzer mechanics, and Sandrone possibly reviving Geo with Lunar Crystallize. That's an insane lineup. And even if half the details shift, the overall direction is clear. Genshin Impact is moving toward interconnected, lore-driven team design rather than isolated kits. But what do you think? Could Lunar Crystallize actually fix Geo, or will it become another self-contained gimmick? Are you saving for Durant's debut, or are you waiting for Varka after all these years? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because this entire roadmap feels like the calm before a huge shakeup. Anyway, that's everything we know so far about version 6.2 through 6.8. If you want more updates, breakdowns, and deep dive analyses like this, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. There's a lot more coming as the beta cycles continue. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.